It's Adam here from Rugby Through the League's podcast. We're here for one of our live Grassroots Rugby days for a Regional 2 South Central clash as Farnham take on Tottonians. Both at the top of the table. Tottonians are currently top. Farnham are just behind them, only 3 points adrift, so they're looking for a big win here today. We're here at Farnham Rugby Club. Great venue. You can see the clubhouse behind me. You might be able to see the players warming up on the pitch behind me. They're both very keen for this game. They're both very up for it. We're expecting a very good match, and of course only one of them will be sitting at the top of the pile by the end of the day. I'm here with Ali from Farnham Rugby Club.
Yeah.
Ali, can you tell us a little bit about your role at the club, what you do?
So I'm the head coach at the club. This is my 7th season. So finished playing, joined the club 7 seasons ago, and I sort of coordinate all of the senior men's rugby. So coach the first team on a game day, and then during training we have the first team down to a fourth team that all train together. So coordinate all of that and sort of just run the training and match day stuff.
Brilliant. So do you ever get the temptation to put the boots back on, or have you got enough squad depth that you don't have to do that?
Yeah, we've got enough squad depth. Sometimes it's tempting, but yeah, I enjoy just the coaching and being on the sidelines. Slightly different, but yeah, sometimes it is tempting. But
brilliant. So a little bit about today's game. It's a big one. Top of the table clash, first and second. You've been on a fantastic run. Tottonians, they haven't lost a game this season as far as I can tell. There's 3 points separating you. How do you think it's going to go today?
Yeah, I mean, we've done some good prep over the last 2 weeks. We had a weekend off last weekend, so it's kind of given us that extra bit of time, which has been nice. Obviously, Totts are a dangerous side. They've won all their games. We lost them both times last season. So we've had a little look at them, but not a lot will change for us. We'll just keep doing the things we've been doing all season, and then we're obviously hopeful to get over the line today and try and leapfrog them into first position.
Brilliant. So are you at full strength today? Are you missing any players for injury or unavailability?
Yeah, we've got a good squad out today. Like throughout the year, we've been rotating a lot. Like we've got good squad depth. We had a hooker got injured a few weeks ago who's played a lot, dislocated his shoulder, so that's probably one that's out. And we actually had a young guy who's played a lot of games who's gone travelling. Yeah. So he's a bit of a miss, but apart from that, yeah, we've got a good squad out, which is good.
Great, glad to hear it. Do you have a score prediction or?
Score prediction.
I don't want to get you to put your head above the parapet too much, but
what shall I go with? We'd like to get 4 tries, so I'll say sort of 28-21 we'll go for.
Okay, sounds like a good score line. Obviously, if you get it, if you get it bang on, then fair play to you.
We'll see.
So you've mentioned there's quite a few different age groups at this club. Looking into it, I can see it goes right up to men's senior. I think you've got a veterans team too, haven't you? You've got all the age groups. You've got a couple of women's teams as well. Yeah. If there was someone sort of in the local or surrounding area who was looking to come down to Farnham Rugby Club, are there spaces available, and how would they go about that? Where's the best source to find? Yeah,
so the club's always looking to recruit players, volunteers. It's very much a community club, so I can speak on behalf of sort of our section, the senior men's section. Probably best way is through the website or through our Instagram, just to get in contact. Like what we've built is, a welcoming atmosphere, which is really good. And in the last couple of years, we've sort of tried to build that pathway through minis, juniors, academy into senior rugby, so making sure people are staying at Farnham throughout their kind of playing career and stuff. Similarly, a lot of mums and dads will coach the age groups and help out with the younger age groups, so we get a lot of good pathway through that. But yeah, anyone who's in the local area who's looking to get involved in community rugby, it's a great place to be. So
brilliant. It certainly comes across that way from the research I've done. Part of that research was listening to Captain's Corner podcast, which is a great listen. I found myself chuckling along to it on some long journeys that I had. There was talk of a Movember walk, wasn't there? Is that been and gone yet, or is that yet?
No, so they should be arriving soon. They normally arrive from over in that corner, but they've done it for the last couple of years, so the club always goes in for Movember in a big way. Obviously it's a brilliant cause, and a lot of our members have got their own kind of personal stories from Movember. We've got some guys who often run our campaigns and stuff, and over the last few years we've done really well with all the fundraising. So today they're doing the walk from Twickenham Stadium all the way to the club, which is about 60 kilometres. We had 2 ex-players who did a run yesterday, which was like 83 kilometres in London. Wow. And then we've got some fundraising today, some activities. So we'll see what that brings in terms of fundraising as well, which would be great.
Excellent. So we'll get the link to how anyone who's listening
that'd be brilliant,
might have been touched by the cause that you're raising money for, that could perhaps, if they want to donate, they can do that then.
Yeah.
One more question for you. Who should we be looking out for today from Farnham? Who's that player we're expecting a bit of magic from?
I don't want to single anyone out. Well, our captain, Toby Salmon, he kicks at goal, and he's been kicking at goal really well this year.
Yeah.
So he's probably one to watch out for if we get sort of penalties and score tries. A couple of weeks ago, we've got a guy called Sour Ray in the back row who had a really good game at Wimborne, so he might be one to watch out for. And then I'll say Oscar Henderson, he does a lot of our line out, so you might be able to recognise him. He sort of calls a lot and dictates a lot of the line out stuff, so he'll be one to look out for.
Brilliant. You mentioned Toby Salmon there. I think he was quite proud of his penalty winner a few weeks ago. So if I get the pleasure of speaking to him, should I definitely bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up. He'll love that, yeah. To be fair, we should. Yeah, he's over there. We'll get him on in a second.
That'd be great,
But okay. Speak to him about that.
Yeah, well, sorry for setting up here with the sun.
No, it's all right.
Eyes, but you've handled this interview greatly. Yeah, I appreciate your time there, Ali.
Thank you.
Go well for today.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm here with Toby Salmon of Captain's Corner podcast fame, where he goes on and talks to the fellow El Capitanos. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
Brilliant. So could you tell us a little bit about... I appreciate you're fly half, correct?
Fly half slash centre, so playing 12 today, but sort of, in between the two.
Bit of a Swiss Army knife then,
you could say so.
You could do a stint in the front row if they needed you?
Definitely not.
No, that's a very special subset of people, I think. So this is a big game for you today, of course. It's top of the table clash, 3 points separating the two. You've had a fantastic winning streak, so have they. How do you see this game going?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really tight. I think obviously we played against these guys last season, so obviously there's a bit of known between the two sides. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a game of quite fine margins and sort of lack of mistakes and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it'll be tight either way.
This, of course, won't go out until after the game, so you're not sharing any tactics.
Yeah.
But are you preparing them in any differently than you may have done with other teams you faced this season?
Yeah, we've done probably a more sort of research and analysis this week than other weeks, just so we're really ready for this sort of big game. Yeah, I think we know what's going to come out. This is going to be quite a physical game. It's going to be fairly tight and fairly sort of sort of attritional from their side. So yeah, we're certainly looking to move them around and get our hands on the ball and get moving.
Brilliant. So do you have a score prediction?
Yeah, we'll go with a 27-20 win to Farnham, of course.
That was actually very close to Ali's. I think his was 28-21. So
okay.
You're obviously...
We're on the same page, this is good.
You've got a clear game plan and you're going for it, 7-point difference. So how long have you played for?
So I've been playing rugby since I was 5, so that's 23 years now, all at Farnham as well, so that's really good. And this is my 10th season of playing men's rugby.
Brilliant. So are you starting to feel the aches and pains yet, or do you feel...
Yeah, Sundays are getting more and more tiresome, definitely. I mean, even for Tuesday training, because I can still sort of feel it a little bit from the weekend, which is a bit crazy. But sort of doing what I can just to stay fit as I can for as long as possible.
Brilliant. So the podcast, I mean, it was shared recently to myself when I knew I was coming here. It was a great listen, good laugh. I found myself chuckling away on the long journeys that I had when I was listening to it. Yeah. How did that come about? Whose idea was that? Yeah,
so there's a few of the sort of the senior guys at the club, a couple of guys who actually have stopped playing, and they've been talking about it for a few years, because I think it's also just keeping everyone updated with everything that's going on around the club. Obviously, there's lots of elements to Farnham, where it's the men's, women's, juniors, vets, touch. There's so many different elements. So I think it was a bit of educating people on all that, but also having just a podcast where people can listen to a few different guys, also get to know them a bit better as well, because some people you just see playing rugby, you don't actually get to know them as individuals. So it was a bit about that as well.
Brilliant. What's been your favourite part about playing for this club? Obviously, you're a lifetime member. What's the one thing if someone said to you, sum up Farnham Rugby Club for you, how do you think you do that? Yeah,
I think it's always been the culture. It's been a really sort of strong togetherness feel here. So we moved to this club back sort of 10 years ago, but the culture never really changed. And even though we've got great facilities now, more players, more supporters, the whole sort of ethos of the club hasn't really changed. It's still that sort of togetherness. Everyone comes here in their spare time and as one sort of group. So I think obviously I know a lot of clubs had that similar sort of feeling, but I do think ours is very hard to match because it's just that real sort of strong family bond.
Yeah, you've had some very good players come out of this club over the years as well,
just
haven't
a few,
you?
yeah.
One in particular, probably the greatest England player of all time.
Yeah.
You could argue Johnny Wilkinson, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously tough to emulate what he's done in his career, but it's a nice sort of person to have played here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it seems like a wonderful club. Obviously, I'll show a little bit more of the building in a minute. minute. But what's your point of choice after you finish the game? Then what's your go-to?
So always it's a Guinness for me.
Guinness,
I don't think you
Yep.
can beat it, especially in the winter as well. That first sip after a game is pretty good.
And it's a good pour in here, is it?
It's top notch, honestly.
I'll be
Necessary.
sure. I'll be sure to try one later then. Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for your time. Much appreciated. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Captain's Corner.
Yeah.
Well worth a listen. When's your next episode coming out?
Yeah, so it'll come out next Thursday morning.
Yep.
So the guys will film on a Wednesday night,
Yep.
and then they'll get it out literally the next morning.
I'm here with two members of the Tottonians Rugby Club. This is Phil. Phil and Tim. So they're two brothers who are involved in the club. Would you mind telling us a little bit about what you do?
I'm kind of head coach and director of rugby. We were kind of recruited, if you like, both of us, about, I think this is the start of our fourth season, that was this year, by Chairman Wayne Howson, who I knew a little bit socially, but has been trying to get us to come across for a number of years. And we kind of have tried to revamp it, if you like, the coaching setup and how the team are going to play in over that period. And so far, it's gone pretty well. I have to say, we're both loving it. And now this year we brought in another brother, Nick, who played professionally as well as in a sort of management and kind of liaison role in certain bits with the kind of individual bits with players. Quite a lot of analysis work, and it's working very well actually.
Brilliant. I mean, yeah, clearly I could see you rooted to the top of the table. You've had. I don't think you've lost a game this season, have you?
Not at this stage.
No,
I don't want to count.
And you want to
count my
way.
chickens.
Yeah. No, obviously you're on a fantastic run. What's that attributable to? Is there something that's changed this season that you weren't doing last season?
Not necessarily. It's part of the growth. I think the last 3 years have been pretty competitive. We've been in and around the second or third place the last couple of years. It's a fair evolution of players as well. We've had quite good breadth of squad, if not depth, potentially, and used a lot of players, if you like, over the previous two league campaigns. This year there's been the natural sort of inflow and outflow of players, no necessarily targeted recruiting, but some players have gone on to try their luck at bigger leagues, and we've had some players fortunately fall into our lap as well. So, but I do think at this stage, probably once this game 10, we're probably in a more settled squad than it have been over the past couple of years, so that continuity and cohesion is probably helping. And it's a tough league, but so far the ball's kind of bounced our way. So yeah, not wanting to tempt fate, hopefully that can continue.
Excellent. So on to today's game. Of course, this is going to go out after the game, so anything you say here that Farnham aren't going to hear it. Have you had to prepare differently for this one, knowing that they're so close to you, 3 points separating the two of you?
Not so much different. We haven't prepared differently. We did have a different bit because we were quite underwater after the storm last weekend, and so we trained at a separate venue on 4G on Wednesday, just because that we thought at that stage it might be our only session this week. So that part of it was different, and we have done a little bit of work specifically for Farnham. We're expecting it to be, you would expect it to be the hardest game of the season so far because of the position they're in. They're unbeaten also, but we haven't specifically changed much in terms of how we intend to play. We've possibly looked at a couple of bits and pieces and targeted what we expect them to do. Okay. Of course, they'll probably go and do something completely different now. That's normally
always the way. So, as part of that tactic, obviously you mentioned you're looking at specific things. Are there any key players today? Could you mention maybe one or two people we should be looking out for?
From our point of view?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been one new recruit, if you like, new guy that arrived. Our 13 has proved to be has made a big difference in the way that we've been, not necessarily in the way that we play, but the way we've been able to play. There's a small difference, but we're trying to be more expansive. There's certainly our 13, Tom Tully, has been a real find, and it's a bit of a gem for us.
Brilliant.
We've got a very skillful and big lump up front, Argentinian prop Bruno Nascimbene, I think. Nascimbene? I think that's how we say it. Not really. Yeah. He's become a bit of a, doesn't actually speak a great deal of English, but he's become a bit of a bit of a cult in his own right. He's become a popular guy.
Depends who he's talking to.
But, as all club teams at this, you've got your regular stalwarts, but then we've got a few guys who've come back. Our number 8 has got his first game back, having not played for about a year.
Okay. And
he's a really good quality player, Andy McEwen. He's come back in this week, and that's a big plus for a lot of the boys as well, having him back. Experienced player, highly skilled operator. So
Tom Tully, centre, Bruno, who's going to do his talking on the pitch today.
Money to the ref, probably. Yeah. Bruno at loosehead.
And the last chap you mentioned,
Andy McEwen.
Andy McEwen. Yeah, number 8. I'm always fond of a back row. I'm not biased in any way, shape or form. So, Totton. Yeah, Southampton area.
That's right. Yeah, just west of Southampton.
I didn't mention before I started doing this that all the blokes who run this podcast are Pompey boys, so I thought you might not want to talk to us if I did. So anyone who's in and around that area, I've seen you've got age groups, you've got quite a few of the men's teams, you've got veterans too, correct? Yeah, you've got the ladies teams,
developing,
and all the age group too.
That's
so
right,
if someone's sort of around that area, and they want to come down, what's the best way? Have you got a website, social
there's
media?
a new website that's been launched this season. It's been revamped, but come up to Water Lane for the minis and juniors. Sunday morning, the usual format is busy. A lot of what's really nice part of the community club that Tottonians is within Totton is a lot of our players also, when they get to an age of kids and coming through. So there's a lot of first, second team, third teamers helping out during the youth and junior system on a Saturday playing, and then on a Sunday for the kids. So that's a really nice pull through. But you just get on the website or get down to Water Lane.
Excellent, thank you for that. So I'm going to ask you to put your head above the parapet here. I've done it with Farnham. What are your score predictions for today?
I think, as ever, caveat, if we perform, we should win. But I think they all perform too, and it'll probably be in single figures.
Brilliant.
I'll spy a score.
Yeah?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Got to back yourself up, mate.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think they're expecting it to be a tight game today as well. So you two are clearly on the same hymn sheet as them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every game of rugby, isn't it? A classic cliche, but one team normally wins and one team has to lose. So that's it.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to a good one today, gents. I really appreciate your time. Go well.
Likewise.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. I'm here with Ollie from Farnham Rugby Club. He's here to talk a little bit about what they're doing for Movember. Obviously, they've got something quite special going on, and they're raising some good money for a very good cause. But before we get into that, what other involvement do you have at the rugby club?
Everyone will laugh at this, but haven't played at all this year or trained.
Nope.
Pre-season came around and I couldn't be bothered.
Fair enough. Sound like myself.
Yeah, selling myself. No, I was on a bit of a weight loss journey, so I for my mental health mostly as well. So I just didn't want to risk getting injured. But I've played first team here for a few years now, front row.
Brilliant.
And love it down here. I live up in Clapham now. I used to live around the corner.
Okay.
But we still come down. There's a few of us who all live together in London.
Brilliant.
So we all come down.
You love coming down here and getting up to the clubhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume. Yeah. Brilliant. So I was listening to the Captain's Corner podcast, and one of the things they mentioned was the Movember walk.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. So we started that 3 or 4 years ago. A friend of ours, Fraser, has set up a rugby team called Mo Rugby, which brings a lot of people together to play. He does uni games and stuff. It's really successful. But I was playing with Harrison, who's playing today, in the first Mo Rugby game at Richmond, and we just thought 60 people die every hour, 60 men take their lives every hour, and the walk from Farnham to Richmond is about 60k. So why not walk through the night, get to the game, watch the game, the Movember big day at Richmond, and that was the first year. And then we've done it from the other way round in the past 2 or 3 years, from Twickenham to Farnham.
Right.
And it's mostly run by the vets, to be fair, who love their walking.
Well, when you get to our sort of age, walking is one of the few things you can do without hurting tomorrow, although I'm sure they'll be aching a bit tomorrow.
They'll be in trouble. They're in the pub around the corner, actually, waiting to come over and have their walk of fame in.
Oh, well, we'd love to get some footage of that. No, it really is a fantastic cause. It is something that's touched quite a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are struggling with their mental health, and I think, raising money for it and the awareness in the local area is a really fantastic thing you're doing here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it seems to kind of epitomise what you're about as a rugby club. From the research I've done, it does seem very family orientated.
It is, yeah.
You've got. Obviously, I've just spoke to the two lads. I think Ali, he's been here all his life, hasn't he? 20 odd years.
Ali, he's been here a while.
He's
been here a while.
Part of the furniture now.
Yeah, exactly. It's fathers, sons, grandfathers, friends. It's really important for the mental health of the men. Like, we don't talk about it, so it's been really good here.
Brilliant. I'm very glad to hear that. And so. I'm glad it's the vets. So I was going to ask, are any of them playing today?
No. There was actually a Mo set up by the Mo Rugby team. There was a Mo Masters game here, which was vets playing on that pitch over there last night. But I think a few of them actually stayed here, had a few beers, and then drove up to Twickenham. They had a tour of Twickenham actually this year, which was great. And then they'll be walking down. But no, none of them playing now.
I love that you're still calling it Twickenham, not the Aliens.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm
For
the
me,
same.
it won't be.
It'll never be the Aliens.
No,
I can't do it. So there's a few other things going on here today, isn't there, around the Movember?
Yeah. So there will be a Guard of Honour, which is either for the big game or Movember. I'm doing a little raffle just to put a fiver on. I've got the team sheets 1 to 18 for both teams, and whoever scores first, you win a £50 bar tab. There's a few hats being sold, which we made like the Farnham and Movember logo. And that's pretty much it. I think it's just, big game. It's a big crowd. it'll be a big day for Movember as well for us.
Excellent. So, one more thing, if people want to donate to this cause, how do they go about doing that?
So you can donate on movember.co.uk, I hope it is, and search Farnham RUFC. I can send you a link as well.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. And they can donate. I think we've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now, and we've surpassed the 175,000 mark.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
We've been in contact with Movember a lot, people at Movember, and they're seriously impressed with what we can do each year.
Yeah. Well, imagine the amount of people you've helped by raising that money, and not only that, just by having a great club like this where people can come to and take their mind off the struggles they might be going through, and get a bit of camaraderie from the various teams.
We had a guy called Rob here for a long time. He's still involved with the club. Him and my friend Alex ran 83k yesterday in the shape of a moustache around London. And that's a world record attempt. I'm not sure. Well, they completed it, so it's amazing.
Fair play.
But Rob used to do a thing called changing room chats. He's not down here anymore as much because of work. He works at St George's in Tooting. But that was a good thing as well, helping a lot of lads. And I think there was actually, a few very severe cases of mental health issues. And I know for a fact that he has saved a couple of people's lives by having these changing room chats. People know that you're going, or you can go anonymously. He won't obviously say anything, and that was a brilliant thing for us as well.
That really is excellent. What a great thing you're doing, and long may it continue. And so Farnham Rugby Club can hang their hat on having the world's biggest moustache.
Yeah, I think so.
London.
I think so. Yeah, 83. Well, they ended up doing 84k actually to do the double marathon.
Yeah, no,
you can't stop short.
That really is a good feat. Especially dodging all the e-scooters and e-bikes and the traffic
through
in
central London.
So,
I went with them a little bit. It was hell. I don't know how they did it, to be fair. But.
Yeah, so a really good cause. Please donate if you've got anything spare. I'm sure you'd appreciate whatever
would
you
be
can
brilliant,
get. Or, share the post, share the social media that these guys are putting out around it. And thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers for that. Thanks, mate.
Oh.
Cheers, Ollie. I've been joined by Bestie, one of the gents who completed the Movember walk from Twickenham to Farnham Rugby Club.
Back to Farnham.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah?
Tired and sore.
Tired and sore?
Yeah.
Hit you more in the morning, do you think?
Yeah, so we start at 11 o'clock at night, and there's a lot of enthusiasm and energy at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But as you go through the night, we follow the waterways, the rivers, the Thames, the Way Navigation Canal. We do about 32k along the Basingstoke Canal, Water River, and then into the club. So, but a big chunk of it's in the dark, and it affords an opportunity to sit and speak to people. There's 50 on the walk today, and it affords an opportunity to talk to people all over the club. Broad spectrum of people join, and people you haven't met before, and origin stories, and find out more about people. And it's a great platform. And obviously we're doing it all from Movember, and we raise a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was speaking to Ollie, one of the organisers, and he said that you have raised, since you've been doing it, some 175
we have,
which is absolutely phenomenal for such a good cause. I think that is the antithesis of what rugby clubs are about. I know it's a mental health aspect that you're doing this for, and as you mentioned, you've been able to kind of meet new people, talk to people, and then let them know they've got a community around them.
Exactly that.
Did you have to do much training for this?
We should have done. Did we? Not much. Look, it's not an ultra distance, which is lucky because no one's training to do an ultra.
Yeah.
But and therein is a bunch of the hardship. Is it's tough and it's gritty. It's a difficult thing to train for. Actually, a bunch of the guys do a sort of couple of 20k's before we go out. But the danger is, especially as you get close to it, you go and do the sort of distances that we're doing, and you get injured, and then of course you can't do it. So there is the expectation that you'll do enough to get you through the first half of it, and just the motivation and purpose will get you through the second half.
Brilliant. So Ollie mentioned there were quite a few of the veterans team that were involved in this. Does that include yourself?
Yeah. So I'm ex-vet, so coached for the age groups. My son finished in the academy last year, so I coached all the way through. And we've got coaches from the women's section. We've got the touch guys. It resonates strongly with those guys. So we've got a big representation from the touch rugby community at the club. So it really does reach right across the club.
Yeah, brilliant. So, very important question. How did that first beer taste when you got back?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the thing is, you think about it from about the 41st kilometre. It's a big part of the motivation to get back.
Pulling you along.
Yeah, totally.
So what was your poison? What did you go for?
Neck oil.
Neck oil. Lovely drop.
So what we do is, it's quite hard to walk at other people's paces. So we all form up at a pub that's just around the corner. And of course, the racing snakes get there early, and the middle pack get there a little bit after, and then the last guy's through, and that's completely cool. So we had a couple of beers, just waiting for everyone to get together. As soon as everyone's together, and the last man in's had a beer, then we get across, because we don't want to curtail anyone's kind of speed, and it's hard to walk at other people's pace. But we all want to come over the finish line together. The spirit, the ethos of the event is comradeship. And we start together, we finish together.
Yeah, and no man left behind, no man left without a beer.
Absolutely.
Love to hear it. No, it was fantastic. What a sight it was to see you all marching across the field.
It's really special.
Yeah.
It is really special.
No.
And actually this year we had a very special start. So usually we've got a bunch of these photos outside a very dark and dull Twickenham, but this year we actually got access to the stadium itself.
Wow.
So we started from the players' tunnel.
Really?
Yeah, and we were in the England changing rooms, and we went out on the pitch, and it was just such an incredible way to kick it off.
Was it good to get some of that aura from the England team to kind of push you on? And walking
actually,
out at Twickenham.
Completely. It was, and funny enough, we had a video of us all formed up in the tunnel and running out to the pitch. But it was weird being in Twickenham when it's just you there.
Yeah. No, I went on a tour a couple of years ago with my granddad, and there's something about the place, isn't there, when it's empty? It's a kind of strange, eerie feeling, but quite a good one, I think. Yeah. So, we're going to share the link to the charity, so if anyone watching wants to donate,
That'd
they
be
can
amazing.
do that.
Yeah.
And just like say, keep doing what you're doing. It's an absolutely fantastic cause. You're clearly a good bunch of blokes, and obviously the club itself, all the age groups.
Yeah, thank you.
The men's, women clearly care about each other. It's a good community, and well done.
Thank you. Yeah, this one's really important to us. Much appreciated.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice to meet you.
Cheers. You too.
Cheers,
Take
Festy.
care.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. So here we are after the game with Toby. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You must be feeling good after that.
Yeah, not a bad feeling. That will stay with us for quite a few hours tonight, so yeah.
Absolutely. So you went off quick as a flash, didn't you? 2 tries, fairly quick succession.
Yeah, we wanted to start fast. We wanted to just get ahead of the game and sort of shock them a little bit. I think when you've won all your games like they have, to be behind is probably quite a weird feeling. So we wanted to start fast and couldn't have been better, really, to be honest.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, I noticed they seemed to go through the gears a little bit throughout the game. They did give you a good test today. What was going through your mind when the ascendancy started to change a little bit?
Yeah, we knew they'd have their little patches where they get back on top and showcase their dominance. I think in those moments we try not to panic, just sort of get back to our standards, just sort of take a breath and just go again.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I know hearing sort of a few of the people speaking around us, you needed to keep them from getting a try at the end, even a win. That would have meant that they went top of the table, or at least was that in the back of your mind at those dying minutes of the game? We've got to stop them from scoring. We want to be top of this league.
Absolutely, yeah. Because a win obviously is great, but to get 5 points and they get 0 is just it's an amazing result. So even though we already knew we won the game, to stop that try at the end is 2 points, in our favour almost. So yeah, very good.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I know it wasn't an easy game for you in terms of injuries. We had a couple of lads take some big knocks. It was a very physical game. I mean, I was glad I was watching it, not playing in it. Let me tell you. But even yourself, you picked up a bit of a knock, didn't you?
Yeah, I think towards the end, a lot of us were cramping, and a lot of us were sort of feeling the effects of the game. Obviously, it's great that we have guys who can just sort of come back on and still have the impact. So yeah, it was a real squad effort today.
Brilliant. You going to win the league?
That's the aim. We're in a good place at the moment, but yeah, still a long way to go.
Brilliant. Well, look, I really appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win and the performance, and go and have a beer. You deserve it.
All right,
you've already got one.
Already got one.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.